What's up, sports bettors? We're going through the best NFL bets for week 2, so a little bit of a betting preview. So let's go ahead and let's start out with Bills Titans. Bills, amazing, right? Looked amazing in week 1, blew out the defending Super Bowl champions, the Rams, and they're unsurprisingly pretty big favorites in this game, right? They are best offered. You always want to line shop with OddsJam. It's free for any sport. Any sport you want to bet on, always make sure you're getting the best price. Takes 2 seconds to open up a sportsbook account. They all give you bonuses. If you actually want to make money sports betting, you have to be line shopping. If you're just doing it for fun and betting $2 a week, $20 a week, it doesn't really matter. But if you're looking to get serious about your profits and take your sports betting to the next level, then you're going to need multiple bookmakers. And the reason is, why on earth would you bet $430 on FanDuel on the Bills money line to win $100 in profit when you can go a tab over, right? Sports betting's mobile. It's literally a tab over to DraftKings and bet $380 to win $100 in profit. It doesn't make sense. Best line on the Titans, which actually seems a little good. You know, you may want to dabble on it if you're bullish on the Titans, is plus 375. So that seems pretty good in my opinion. If you're looking for a spot to bet on the Titans, is WinBet plus 375. But regardless, I don't have a play on the money line. It's not surprising. The Bills are pretty big favorites. And you'll notice the betting exchanges, just because, the game is far away. This is week 2. It's Sunday. There's really no action on them. These markets are very wide. You'll kind of notice as you get closer to game time, these peer-to-peer betting sites get a lot closer. So for the point spread, what you'll notice is, okay, what do we notice? It's like point spread 8.5, 9.5. Looks like there may be a little bit of value being able to grab minus 110 juice on the Bills on PointsBet, considering most sportsbooks have the Bills minus 9.5 juice. Right? That's where they have the line, right? DraftKings, FanDuel. So being able to get 8.5 is pretty good, because if the Bills win by 3 field goals, 9 points exactly, then our bet on PointsBet will cash, or Resorts World bet. So that bet seems a little good, but we'll skip over it. I don't have a point spread bet. The bet I really like is the total, and I'm going to take you through it, kind of as a starting off point for this video. So I'm looking at the OddsJam arbitrage betting tool. So the way that OddsJam works is, obviously there's a lot of data on this site, right? Data is the core of sports betting, right? OddsJam is kind of like the Bloomberg terminal of sports betting. It takes all this data, processes it in real time through a variety of betting tools to try to show you where the value is, where the mathematically profitable bets are, as a sharp bettor, right? So what you'll notice is right here, it's like, dang, over 48.5 on PointsBet is minus 107. On Pinnacle, it's minus 132, right? So on the sharpest bookmaker, which is the same as the OddsJam line, it's minus 132. And we're getting minus 107 on PointsBet, although it looks like it just bounced to minus 115, although that minus 115 still looks very good. So if you're looking at this right when the video's launched and it's still minus 115, hit that, hit that, hit that. So long story short, this is an arbitrage bet, 1.8%. What does this number mean, and why do we care? How does this make you money, right? That's the question we want to get into. Now, the reason is just think about it, right? You're betting $107. That's what I was betting, right? On the over to win 100 in profit. Whereas on the under, you can go over to Pinnacle and bet the under, you can bet $100 and win 115 in profit. So it's a risk-free betting opportunity, right? Whenever the plus number for an equal and opposite outcome is greater than the minus number, there's an arbitrage bet. So you can see right here, here's another example. You can bet $116 on Pinnacle right here, and you can see PointsBet came crashing down. It's still an arbitrage bet, but less good. But you can bet $116 on Pinnacle on the under to win $100 in profit. On the over, you could have bet $100 on PointsBet to win $130 on profit. So it's just kind of using an arbitrage calculator that shows you, hey, here's exactly how much to bet on both sides in order to generate a risk-free profit, right? This is essentially a sports betting bond, right? Due to discrepancies in sportsbook odds, you're earning a risk-free return. There's no risk. You just have to wait for the games to end, kind of like a bond, right? Except these returns are insane, right? This game's a week away and you're earning a 1.8% return. Risk-free return, 2% risk-free return roughly in a week. Imagine if you did that every year. Or I mean, if you did that every week, you'd be earning a 100% return on capital risk-free over the course of a year. Pretty crazy. Unheard of, right? 100% risk-free return over the course of a year. So that's why arbitrage betting is powerful. It's time intensive because you have to place the bets. You got to know how to navigate the sportsbooks quickly, but you can definitely make money and it's definitely risk-free. But arbitrage also proves an important concept, right? And that concept is whenever there's an arbitrage bet, so whenever there's a discrepancy between bookmakers, a market inefficiency where you can bet on two sportsbooks on equal and opposite outcomes and earn a risk-free profit, by definition, one of those bets has to be profitable. One of those bets has to be positive EV, which kind of leads into the positive EV betting tool, right? So kind of what OddsJam does for you and what all the sharp and professional and people who do it for a living sports bettors do is they look for arbitrage bets and then they bet the positive EV side, right? They bet the side with the mathematical value, the side that is slipping up. And you can see right here, it's clearly PointsBet, right? They're giving us over 48.5 at minus 115. In the Betfair exchange, which is already pretty tight for this one, and Pinnacle, are pricing this at minus 133 and minus 132. And this is an arbitrage bet to Pinnacle, which, by the way, is the sharpest sportsbook in the world. So clearly, PointsBet decides that is slipping up, and that is the sportsbook we want to be hammering as a sharp better. So what we can do is kind of use Pinnacle, so their market, to back out what we think the true odds should be. So minus 132 plus 105. So if we go to a minus 132 plus 115, I apologize. So only 17 cents a juice. The true odds should be minus 122. Right? We ended up betting minus 107 on PointsBet. I'll include a picture, right? And essentially, that means our bet has a 55.02% win probability, right? So 55.02% win probability. I bet this at minus 107, and I think PointsBet limited my stake to $535, which would be $34 in profit margin on this bet. So I'll include a screenshot again, and I'll include it in this sheet as well. So this is just a sheet kind of all of the bets, I've done a YouTube video on. I'm going to start just tracking the profit and loss so you guys can see, hopefully tail some of these bets and see your gains go up as well. That's my goal with the channel, is to help, anyone who wants to learn about sharp, profitable sports betting, to kind of learn the strategies, the math, level the playing field against the sports books, and we'll be tracking our profit and loss. So we're going to add over 48.5, I believe. So let's go back. Now I forget what we had. Now I literally forget if it was over 48.5 or over 47.5. But regardless, I'll get the exact numbers in here. I think this was 535. I think that was minus 107. And I guess the EV should be, barring a change, 34.46 if these numbers are correct. And then this bet is for 9.19. So this is Monday Night Football of week 2. And then I think this is over 48.5. And then this is Bills Titans. So really good bet. And you can kind of see right here why we like this bet so much. If I just kind of go here to the total, is most sportsbooks are setting the total at 49.5. PointsBet had it at 48.5 with minus 107 juice. So a full point off from the rest of the market. So as a sports bettor, it's either like, okay, either PointsBet's right and the total should be set at 48.5, or they're just clueless and the entire market's at 49.5, which makes more sense, including Pinnacle, which is the sharpest sportsbook in the world. So we should probably, hit the bet on PointsBet because this is stale and is supposed to be at 49.5, and this bet has a positive expected return. So it was definitely over 48.5, but anyways, I'll add a picture of the bet slip. Let's make money.